Hey, this is JP from John Paul Music UK, and in this video we're going to go over live loops. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before, my channel is all about music tech and looping. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and please consider subscribing to the channel as it really helps the channel grow. This series of videos is all about GarageBand on iOS, and in this second video we're going to have a look at live loops. This is the first page into GarageBand, and you've got two routes, so you have to choose your path. So tracks is the linear way of creating a song, the more traditional way where we've got a beginning and an end, and live loops is actually a load of cells where you can drop loops into and then create almost like a live performance. So live loops, instead of being linear, is actually a load of cells that you use in a circular system for creating loops. And we've got lots of different versions here where Apple have created a couple of different ones you can start using and play with. But what we're going to do is I'll show you one of those as an example, and then we're going to start creating our own. So first of all, I'm going to go into the one that's called EDM. If I just tap on that, this will load almost like a preset, almost like a backing track version. And what you see here is something quite different from the tracks view. So again, at the very, very top, that top doesn't change apart from one button, which then you can see next door to settings, you've got FX, and I'll show you that a little bit later. We've got a load of these square boxes, and what you have to think about is you have to think of them in sections. So you can see here we've got section 1, and at the very bottom there's a little arrow, and then section 2 there's a little arrow, and etc, etc, etc. And then when you look at it across, each one is an instrument. So that we've got the drums, we've got synthesizers, we've got a turntable there with a bit of effects. Now one nice little tip you can do if you want to add more and you want to see them all, you can use pinch, and we can make this bigger or smaller depending on what you're doing, and you can see there at the bottom there's a little plus sign to add another instrument. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tap on the first instrument at the top left hand corner, and we'll get that going. So you can see there it goes around in a circular motion, almost like a clock, and then it goes back to 12 o'clock and starts again. We can keep adding tracks, and we can keep adding tracks manually, or you can actually press the triangle at the bottom and that will play the entire scene. Now what I can do as well is I tap on one of the loops, it will stop, but it will stop at the next quarter. The other option you can do is you can just press stop at the very top in the middle. Now they're paused at the moment, they're not actually gone back to the beginning. If I then press the back arrow, it will actually stop them completely. If I actually press the arrow at the very bottom here, it'll start the whole sequence again, and then I can just press the next arrow. Now it doesn't happen instantly, it queues it up. So when we queue it up, a little bit like DJing. This is how live loops works. Now, when you actually create a live loop and you've got lots of live loops, you can hit record and it will record it into tracks mode. So then you actually can go back into tracks mode and you've got your song from beginning to end. But this is really clever because what you can do is we can actually grab, say, that one, well, that one's playing, and that one. So you can actually hit them in any order, but obviously one per instrument. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into new song, create a new song, and this time we're going to create new. So when we create new, we've got a blank track, which nothing on it, and we're going to add stuff to it. So there's two ways, again, we can do this. One, we can play an instrument, or what we can do is, which is more popular, is you can use live loops. Now the loop system we've got here, there are over 1,000 loops, and they are all royalty free, and there's everything from drums right through to sound effects, right through to guitars. There's not just stuff for dance, there's stuff basically for rock, there's stuff for acoustic stuff as well. So you can use this in multiple different genres, and what you can do is, if you like one, you can try one. So let's go into one here. Let's go like to the very beginning, for example. Let's just try this one. And you can see the color difference. So if it's green, it is MIDI, and you can change the actual instrument. If it's blue, it's audio, and we can affect it, but we can't change how it was recorded. So I like that one. What you do is you hold it down, it'll bounce under my finger, and it's asking, where are we going to put this? So I'm going to put it obviously at the very first square. So now we get a little icon to say that's a piano. We know that's a piano. And then I'm going to grab another beat. So let's now, instead of going through all of these, what we've got at the top here is we've got instrument, genre, and descriptor. So I can tap on instrument, and I know I want a beat. So I'm going to go all drums, and actually genre, what I can do is I can turn around and say, well, I want chill wave, and now we've only got the chill wave beats. Cool, I'll grab that one. And I'm going to put it underneath. So if they're underneath each other, they play together, and obviously it's one scene, and then we go on to the next one. So I can just hit the arrow at the bottom and just see what this sounds like. And you can see there that they actually play at different lengths. So the piano is longer than the beat. The beat is going around twice as much as the piano is. Live loops is really, really useful for this, because what we can do is now we can actually go into tapping there, we can say loops, and it'll bring the loops up. Or what we can do is we can tap the plus and go to instruments, and I can play an instrument in. Now the difference is, if I go to keyboard and we actually go into playing this, so when we go into record, it actually shows you a green box around it, so it means you're recording inside a loop. And this actually says 4 bars, so we can actually say, well, how many bars is this cell? So we can say, well, we want that to be 5 bars, or we want it to be 4 bars, or whatever you want, or again, automatic, so it'll record as long as you want. But it's only been recording that one cell. So if I recorded 4 bars, we can record normally, but this time as we record it, so we can see now that's actually created the cell, and it's going round and round and round, but then it can actually go with everything there. Now, whilst we're in this mode, you'll also notice in the top left-hand corner, the instrument chooser is still there, and the tracks mode has been replaced with these little dots, and that's actually going back to the grid mode. So if we go back to grid, and now we've added a new loop. The other major thing with live loops is FX. So you can see there's a button that says FX. It brings up a little table here, and just some nice little effects, almost like DJ effects. So if we play our little loops together, I can draw my finger over, and we've got access to a couple of different ones. So we've got things like repeater, reverb, wobble. So there's loads of little effects there, and then you can just tap it and it goes away again. The nice thing as well is if you hit record and you record it with the effects, it records what you did for the effects and saves it as a separate track. So that's live loops, the other option to record. Of course, you've also got tracks. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll put a card up now, and that is episode 1. I just want to give a quick shout out to the people who've subscribed. Thank you very, very much for subscribing. And also, I wanted to let you know I have set up a Patreon page. If you're not sure what Patreon is a crowdfunding membership service where you can actually subscribe, help fund this YouTube channel, but also at the same time, you'll get some exclusive content as well. If you want to have a look at that, have a look in the description below, or go to patreon.com/John Paul Music UK. And if you haven't, please consider subscribing to the channel and share it with a friend. Maybe there's someone who's struggling with looping or with GarageBand. Obviously, give them my tutorial if you think it helps them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.